Hi, I'm Gregg from RVHaulers. If you're thinking about taking an adventure, one of the key components to having an enjoyable trip is being able to take along your food. What I'm going to introduce to you today is a fridge freezer 12-volt system from SETPOWER that I've been evaluating for the last little while. If you're interested in seeing something that has some unique capabilities, primarily in conjunction with our RVHaulers, join me in this video. We've got some new ways that we can use these systems. Here's an RVHauler set up for a Jeep or a Bronco. And the first thing you want to consider is with your fridge freezer system, your 12-volt system, is where are we going to put it? When we're taking this off as an outpost, what we designed into all of our can beds now is this gas-assisted whale tail storage. So we've got a big cavernous storage designed to put the SETPOWER into. So we've got 12-volt power ran here. It's nice and secure, right? We've got a lockable storage system. And this SETPOWER also has the intelligent battery management system so that it'll never bring the truck batteries down. But of course, with 4 batteries on this RVHauler, we've got weeks of power before we would even have to start the truck and charge those batteries up. So here's where I recommend you put your SETPOWER, and of course we're able to open it up and gain access to the SETPOWER from with the whale tail storage up. And the other thing that I like about this is, I'm going to show you in a little while, SETPOWER also has 3 different sizes. The footprint remains the same. They are all approximately or just under 27 inches wide. They are exactly 16 inches deep. And we can, if necessary, we can go with 3 different heights. If you do, on your RVHauler, have some different storage bays available to you. You're probably thinking to yourself, Gregg, what happens if I don't have whale tail storage? What if I've got one of your more traditional steel beds like this? Well, SETPOWER has the perfect size. Remember how I said that it's 16 inches deep? Well, let's talk about putting the SETPOWER into a drum box, that storage box behind the sleeper. Come with me. Let's come into the 3 seasons here. Well, I guess we are working 4 seasons in this building, so I guess it's not too bad here in Canada. You're taking a look at our fabrication area for our can drum. And here's a can drum build underway. This is going to be a 2-height system. So we're going to have one 3.5-foot section and a second 3.5-foot section. And the depth of our can drums are designed exactly 16 inches. So the SETPOWER can go inside one of these as well. And when you open up that door, you're able to access the SETPOWER from, and leave it in there if you want, or take it out. And let's go to the next place. Wait a minute. These adventure vehicles are not designed to be sitting here in the garage. Why don't we take a little interlude here? I'm going to take you on some adventures that us crazy Canadians have been undertaking this past winter, and then we'll get into the details about this SETPOWER. Join me on an adventure here. Here we go!
self-removing running boards, won't we? One more reason to put the rock sliders on that have been sitting in my garage for almost a year. That's how they work best from what I heard.
That's a good drop.
Mm-hmm. This whole bumming.
Okay, clearance test 107. Looking good.
It's amazing. We'll get up there.
Yeah, that was
Because it's wet ice.
icy.
Yeah.
So over that last river crossing, you ended up with two pulleys, Gary.
One came out of the back into the front.
That was kind of steep.
Swagger down the street with your red lips and funky beat. You better hold your head up to the sky. I'm gonna roll with you till the day I die. One by one, billion by billion, been holding up half the sky.
I feel like you were watching my home movies there for a little while. Thanks for sticking it out. Now, we're back here in my garage, and what I want to introduce to you are the details about this SETPOWER. Now, to be really clear, obviously, SETPOWER sponsored this video. They did send me this one for evaluation, and I've had it actually for a number of months. So this is not an evaluation that's been done over just a couple days. Carrie and I have been taking this, dropping off some steep bumps and jumps and going on some long distance trips with the SETPOWER in our Jeep. Now, so I think this is a pretty fair evaluation. You also know that I'm pretty straight up when it comes to trying to pick the best of breed products from my RVHauler solutions. So I'm going to be really, really blunt and honest about what I found about this SETPOWER. So starting off, I want to show you how I use this in our overlanding Jeep travels. So let's talk about the physical layout that we chose to go with in our Jeep. Normally I did not have the SETPOWER oriented in this fashion. I turned it 90 degrees so that I had lots of storage. You can see that I've got a lot of my recovery gear in here, my kinetic energy ropes, and a lot of my in the wintertime tire chains, a lot of my tools, and our winter gear and our survival gear. So I had this turned 90 degrees, and SETPOWER's got a really nice display here, so I can choose the temperature for the left unit as well as the right. I can set them both up as freezers, I can set them both up as refrigerators, and it shows you not only the current temperature that's in there, but also my objective temperature, what I'm shooting for. So right now I've got the right one set for 39, and I've got the left one set for 50. But you can change them around. You can turn on just one of them if you want. We got some other features in the SETPOWER as well. So I've got a battery protection system here that cuts out so that if you do have this running directly off of your Jeep or your adventure vehicle and your battery level starts to get a little too low, it will protect the vehicle and shut down the refrigeration compressor. I've been running it at kind of the medium setting, and I found that it was absolutely perfect. I'll let you decide which one is right for you and what your comfort level is. It's a great time for me to mention a little bit about the actual manual. If you've ever bought something that's been manufactured out of the United States, you know that sometimes the manuals are not the greatest. I find this manual is spot on. The language is perfect. It covered all the questions that I had about specifications, and it talked about the operating instructions, when it was cutting out with certain voltages, how to use it. So we've got, voltage protection at a low level of 9.6 volts, and it'll also protect at medium setting, which is what I was using, down to 10.4 and 11 if it's at the higher setting. And the troubleshooting is reasonable. I've never had to do any real troubleshooting with the unit, but so manual's good, which is really nice. Something else that I like about this is the illumination. So it's got some LED lights on the inside. So if you are coming in here in the dark hours, you can see what your contents are looking like at the time. And there's also a compressor speed option on here as well. So you can throttle it down and make sure that it's being as efficient as possible. Now, I'm going to talk to you about how I actually hooked up the electronics. First of all, if I was planning to use the SETPOWER, I would run it or pre-cool it before our trip. Now, I know you just watched a home movie and we're out in freezing temperatures, but trust me, we did use this in warmer temperatures as well. No, I wasn't in the desert, so everybody's use case is going to be unique to their scenario. So if you're in the desert, can I come join you, please? Okay, thanks. What I did is I put my Bluetti 600 watt battery in line with it. So I charged the Bluetti from household power perhaps to start with. So I brought this thing up to power. Then I powered it from the Jeep, and the SETPOWER then pulled its power from the Bluetti. Again, it's a 600 watt, it's not very big. And in my experience, what was nice was I would pre-chill the unit. It helps to put in cool items already, so you're not starting, trying to freeze items on your trip. Start with them frozen or start with them chilled, just to extend the life. And then when we're on the road, we're driving for a number of hours, this stays fully charged, and this is completely cool or frozen. So therefore, when you shut down for the night, or you're shutting down for the weekend, perhaps you stopped your travels, I got, realistically, 1.5 days of power out of the Bluetti. That's opening it, putting things in, taking things out, cooking, living with it. Realistically, I got a day and a half out of, an overnight and a good part of the daytime before I had to recharge my Bluetti. What I also found was super cool was if you are parked for any length of time, do think about solar. Now, what I see for power consumption is, what's nice about this Bluetti is I can see what the freezer unit was drawing at any one point in time. So right now, it's not running at the moment. It's an idle. When the SETPOWER is running as hard as it can, it's drawing 46 watts. And if you think about a solar panel, and of course, sorry, it's drawing 46 watts when it's doing its cooling. It's not cooling all the time, right? It's only cooling for a few minutes at a time, or a few minutes throughout the hour. So that's how we get 30 some hours, kind of between 30 to 40 hours of power out of 600 watts. Also think about putting in some solar. So realistically, what can you get out of a solar panel? You choose how big of a solar panel you've got, but you can really stay ahead of the SETPOWER demands with the smallest of portable batteries. And I think this combination has worked really well for us. It allowed us to be off-grid for days at a time. And what I also found was you are starting your Jeep. Probably you've traveled somewhere, but then you're going to go on little adventures, right? So maybe you leave the SETPOWER behind, or maybe you take it with you when you're doing your day trip. But this will charge off of, in this case, our Jeep. How am I doing? I hope this is making sense. I also want to talk about how I secured this. Now, you've probably seen a lot of off-roaders having all the pull-out trays and things like that, and they're great. In my scenario, I'm not quite set up that way because we're pretty flexible in how we have this set up. The SETPOWER has really big handles, and they're super strong, and I use them with little ratchet straps to tie it down so that, we travel with a couple dogs, so I want to make sure that everything in here is secure, tied down. And the handles did a very good job of allowing us to ratchet and tie down to the floor, so it stayed stable. Right? The reason I'm not putting it on a big rollout drawer is I'm moving this. I'm taking it from my adventure vehicle, moving it back to my outpost vehicle, the RVHauler, or maybe I'm taking it out of the RVHauler and putting it into my fifth wheel. It's providing extra extra freezer, extra fridge space just in my home base. Now you might have seen in my home movie just a couple of minutes ago that we were, going off some good drop-offs. We were jarring our load at very many times. So we're shaking, rocking and rolling around in this Jeep. And there is one thing that I found that I didn't like. And that is the plug. Now, it's not actually SETPOWER's problem. it was a problem with the Blue Eddy. If you look at how these outlets are always designed, right, they're very consistent. Of course, they have to be. It's a standardized diameter. You know, it's got these little tabs on it that create that tension, that force when you push this into the cigarette lighter outlet. And the SETPOWER plug works really, really well in all of the other plugs that I tested. This thing was really firm, hard to pull out. It was like really well attached. Just a gotcha that I want you to be aware of is that what I'm talking about is how hard this thing pushes in and how hard it is, how difficult it is, or how secure it is in there when things get bounced and shook around. The portable battery that I have, the depth of the plug in here is actually a little bit short. So what happens is when you push in this, it is in the case of the SETPOWER, it's a little bit wobbly. And I found that there was a time where this thing just kind of lost contact. It came a little bit loose. So that would just be a heads up. I don't really think it's a fault of the SETPOWER cable that came with it, but it's something that I wanted you to be aware of, that it seems like there is some inconsistencies in the depth of these plugs as to how far they go in and how secure they are in there. Some of them work really good, and this one just had a little bit of play, but I don't think it's a fault of SETPOWER's plug. And also just the topic of usability and how reliable I think this solution is by having the Jeep, then the portable battery, then the SETPOWER. This, as I said, lasted greater than 30 hours, a little bit less than 40 at some times, and it charges using household power in 1 hour. So whether you're charging from household power or perhaps you're pulling from a 12-volt source, this thing charges up pretty quick, and it gives you, again, another 30 to 40 hours of reserve for the SETPOWER in a short period of time, which is nice. Don't you love Zoom? I want to show you for real what the power output is. So right now we're drawing between 35, you just saw it peak. Sometimes it would go up to 42 or 45 watts. And I'm forecasting a 7-hour, oh, just screen timed out. I'm forecasting about a 7, oh, there we go. There's the output peaking up to about 46 watts right now. So the 600 watt unit will last 6.1 hours. Now remember, we're not running at full time. We're not running 100%. This thing will get back up to temperature, and you'll see that output go down to 0. And I'm also charging from the Jeep battery right now too, if necessary. I don't have to. I'm at 97% power. But if this does get a little bit low, you will start to see my wattage go up, my input wattage go up from the Jeep. So as I mentioned before, SETPOWER did send me this unit for evaluation. I don't have anything really to beat up. I think it worked extremely well, and Carrie and I are going to keep using this. Now, if you're interested in purchasing a SETPOWER unit of your own, SETPOWER is giving us a 16% discount with this code. I'll have it here on the screen. We'll also have a link down below in the description if you're interested in getting one. Not only do you get a discount, but I do get a small residual commission for the sale. So I'm just letting you folks know that. But I do appreciate you taking a look at this piece of the puzzle. Now, I'm going to get into some of the dimensional options. I want to show you some of the various heights that they have and the different models that are available. When we were outside looking at that RVHauler and the whale tail storage, I was mentioning the different heights that were available. You might recall the footprint stays the same, 26.8 inches wide, 16 inches deep, and there are 3 heights. So the smallest unit, which is a 37 or a 37 quart or a 35 liter, is just over 17 inches tall. They also have a 47 quart / 46 liter unit, which is just under 20 inches tall. And this one, which is the 58 quart or 55 liter, is 22.6 inches at the top. A couple of the other important numbers that you're going to want to know is what the weight is like. So this one weighs in at 44 pounds. The lightest one, it's all in the manual, is 38 pounds. And the medium-sized one is 42 pounds. Of course, that doesn't matter a whole bunch because you are going to be filling this with your drinks and your food and your frozen goods, perhaps. What it comes with is the SETPOWER comes with the one power source. It is not an AC unit. It's exclusively either a 12 volt or a 24 volt system. And it comes with a nice manual, and that is all you really need to run the SETPOWER. The last thing I want to mention is the noise level. This thing is super quiet, right? It's got a very small cooling fan built into it. Of course, being DC, it's not winding up really fast or really loud. So the decibel noise is, I'll try to get down here close to it. I don't know if that means much to you, but it's really quiet. So if you are perhaps sleeping near this, or you're putting it in your tent, or you've got a rooftop unit, this isn't going to be waking you up at night at all when it turns on and off. Well, I appreciate you taking a few minutes to think about this new opportunity we have with our RVHaulers, which is putting some adventure vehicles, whether it's a side-by-side, a Jeep, a Bronco, or other SUVs, or other ATVs up there, and going and having some fun. Whatever you choose to do, please, I ask that you drive safe. And as well, I want to thank my subscribers, people that have been with me for the last 15 years. Thank you for sticking it out. I still feel like I'm just making home movies, and you folks honor me by occasionally looking at one of my videos. If you can, remember, we're a really small company. Please give me a thumbs up. And also, post your questions down below, or your thoughts, or your ideas. It's you folks that are watching these videos that give me tons of new content and ideas and recommendations. Thank you for watching. I'm going to have some more videos here at the end of this video that you may want to choose and explore further. Thanks for watching.